What's going on, everybody? Walker Dead here, back at it again with another video. This is Season 1, Episode 7 of my Walker Dead Reboot Series, titled TS-19. Thank you all so much for the love and support. I really do appreciate it. And before I start the episode, I want you guys to comment who's your favorite Walking Dead character from Season 1 so far. Is it Rick, John, Glenn, Tara? Like, who's your top 5 favorite Walking Dead Season 1 characters in my Walking Dead series so far? Like, you can just comment down below, like, your top 5, top 10. It doesn't really matter to me. But with that being said, let's get into the episode now, shall we? The episode begins in a flashback sequence of Shane in the hospital. He's noticing that a lot of police officers and military soldiers are shooting isn't people in the hallway, but he doesn't know that. Like, he opens the door and he notices, like, he's hearing gunshots, but he's hearing gunshots, so he closes the door and he says, "Rick, I'll be right back." He closes the door. He goes down the hallway and he notices some civilians in the hallway and with some military soldiers, but unfortunately the military soldiers aim their guns at the nurses, doctors, everyone who was in that hallway, and they shoot them all up with their AK-47s and machine guns. Shane is they shoot him all instantly. Shane is like, Jesus. He's in shock by this. He's like in shock because obviously those people were never infected, and he's questioning, like, why are they doing this if they're not infected? He gets a little spooked, so he runs back to Rick's room. He closes the door, and he's like looking at Rick. He's trying to get him up out of the hospital bed, but unfortunately he's not able to, because remember all that technology and all those wiring things he was set up on. They're like, he can't, like he's trying to get him out of the bed, and it's not working out. Basically, he's like, "Rick, if you're still in there somewhere, if you can hear me, make a sign now. We gotta go, brother. We gotta go." And he's nervous by this. He also sees a helicopter outside the window going down, because obviously, like, somebody shot down the helicopter with RPG, and the helicopter's going down, and it's destroyed. And Shane's like, God. He tries to get Rick out of the bed again, but before he can do so, some military soldier comes and opens the door and notices Rick on the hospital bed, but he notices that he's not a threat, obviously, and other soldiers are telling him to hurry up, so he does. And the military soldier leaves the room and closes the door, and Shane gets up from the spot he was hiding from, and he's like telling Rick, "Please, brother, wake up, please. John and Lori need you. Your son needs you. Please wake up, please." Meanwhile, as he's trying to take all the wiring out of Rick so he can get him out of bed, he hears an explosion and the machines go haywire, and the machine starts beeping loudly, and Shane's like, no, Rick. He puts his ear on his chest, and he unfortunately does not hear a heartbeat. He doesn't hear any heartbeat, any movement, nothing. He is crying. Thinking he's dead, but in reality, he's not. And he says, "Rick, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. This is all my fault. Meanwhile, he opens the door and closes it, and he grabs that hospital bed. Remember that hospital bed that was covering the door? He blocks the door because obviously he doesn't want Rick's body to be devoured by walkers. Or he does, and especially he doesn't want him to turn, knowing that because at that time he obviously doesn't know how the walker thing works yet. So he closes the door, he blocks the door, and he runs, tries to get to the cafeteria because there's an emergency exit there. Like trying to get to the cafeteria to escape to the emergency exit, because there's an emergency exit, obviously. But unfortunately, the soldiers that was there before, the ones that shot all those innocent people, are still there. But before those soldiers can leave, and before Shane could take out his pistol and do anything, a walker comes out of the cafeteria and bites one of the military soldiers on the neck. The rest of the soldiers are shot by this, and then all those people that those soldiers shot up with their guns, they all reanimate into walkers, and they start biting all the soldiers on the hands, the arms, on the legs, the head, the face, everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Shane isn't shot by this, so he runs down the hallway. He's asking for help by the cops and the security guards, but they're too scared to do anything. They run away as Shane is begging for help, begging for them to do something. But unfortunately, they're all terrified, and they're just in shock of what they just seen. And then before Shane could leave the building, he is approached by a coworker of him, a coworker that him and Rick work under, and this guy's name is Reggie. That's right, it was revealed to be Reggie from the Walking Dead comics. He's like, well, hello there, Shane boy. Remember me? Oh, I bet you do. You know what? Now that we're here, we got some catching up to do, you and I. The next shot takes place where Season 1, Episode 6 left off, when Jenner opened the doors. Everyone's still in shock by this, but John's like, it doesn't matter now, come on. Rick and the rest of the group enter the building. This is a pretty large group, being Rick, Carl, Lori, John, Shane, Andrea, Dale, Alan, Dina, Billy, Ben, Carol, Sophia, Daryl, T-Dog, Glenn, Jacqui, and Vesta. Rick goes and the others go in the CDC building. Daryl, John, and Rick are being cautious because obviously they don't know if there's walkers in the building or not, and they don't want to get caught by traps. But Rick screams, "Hello! Is there anybody here?" Everyone gets in the building, and Dale tells Alan to close the doors and to watch out for walkers, because obviously there's walkers still outside, and of course they gotta be cautious because again they don't know what's in the building. Rick screams again, "Hello!" and then they were approached by Dr. Edwin Jenner. Jenner asks the group and says, "Is anybody infected?" And Rick says, only someone in our group was, but unfortunately didn't make it. Dr. Jenner asks, "Why are you here and what do you want?" "A chance." Jenner says, "That's asking an awful lot these days." Rick says, "I know." Jenner looks at everyone in the group, and Jenner notices there's kids in the group, obviously, and Dr. Jenner tells Rick and the group, of course, that if you guys want to stay, you all have to submit to a blood test. That's the price for ignition. And Rick says, "We can do that." John says, "Sure, but we're just being cautious." Dr. Jenner says, "I understand." Dr. Jenner also tells Rick and the crew that if you have stuff or supplies to bring in, you do it now, because once the door closes, it stays closed. but referring that once the front doors close, that they won't open again from him. They will have to be opened by the computers of the building. The next shot is T-Dog John and Glenn coming back in the building after grabbing all the supplies that was in the RV and in John's vehicle, of course. Dr. Jenner says, "Vi, seal the main entrance, kill the power up here." All the doors close, and everyone goes to the elevator, and it's a pretty big elevator, and that's why everyone in the group is able to fit. And Daryl asks Dr. Jenner, "Does doctors always come around packing heat like that?" And Dr. Jenner says, "Well, there's plenty left lying around. I've familiarized myself." And Dr. Jenner looks at the kids, and he says, "Well, you three look harmless enough, except for you. I gotta keep my eye on you." Of course, he is talking to Carl and referring to Carl. Carl smiles, of course. John smiles as well. And the next shot is everybody leaving the elevator, and Carol asks Jenner, "Are we underground?" And Jenner says, "Are you claustrophobic?" Carol says, "Yeah." And then Dr. Jenner says, "Try not to think about it." The next shot is everyone in underground CDC building, also known as Zone 5. Dr. Jenner says, "Vi, turn on the lights in the workstations." Vi says, "Powering lights and workstations." And Rick asks Dr. Jenner, "Where is everybody?" The other doctors, staff. Dr. Jenner tells Rick and the crew, "I'm it. It's just me here." "Well, only me here." John asks, "Why?" And he says, Dr. Jenner says, "I'm it. I'm all that's left." John's like, "All that's left? Why and how?" And Dr. Jenner tells John it's complicated. It's complicated and a long story, actually, but it's something I can discuss with you and your group some other time. He also says, "I'm sorry," and Rick says it's fine. The next shot is Dr. Jenner doing a blood test on Andrea, and Andrea asks, "What's the point? If we're all infected, we will be running a fever." And Dr. Jenner says, "I already broken every rule in the book on you guys in here, so let me at least please be thorough." Alright, that's it. Andrew's like, Vesta and Jacqui, and Vesta's like, "Are you okay? Andrew, are you okay?" And Andrew says, "I'm fine." And Dr. Jenner's like, "Are you sure she's okay?" And Jacqui says, "Yeah, she's fine. It's just we haven't eaten in days. None of us have." He looks at everybody, really tired and hungry. So he opens up his heart a little bit, and his next shot is everyone in the group eating. Yeah, that's right. He shares his food and his drinks with everybody, and everyone's smiling, having fun, having a great time. And Dale's like, "Children should have at least some wine some of these days, in Italy and in France." And Laurie says, "Well, when Carl's in Italy or France, you may have some then." And Brooke's like, "Come on, one little sip is not going to hurt. Come on. And Laurie, Sophia, and everyone at the table smiles, and Laurie's like, "All right." Dale pours a little bit of wine for Carl. He drinks a small sip of it, and he's like, "Ew. Blech." Everyone's laughing, laughing, having a bit of fun, and Carl's like, "Blech. It's nasty." And Shane's laughing, giggling, and says, "Damn, you need some soda there, bud." And Glenn's looking at a beer bottle, and Dara's like, "Not you, Glenn." And Glenn's like, "Huh?" Dare says, "You drinking, little man. I want to see how great your face can handle it." And John's cracking up. He's cracking up. He's like laughing his ass off. And Glenn's like, yeah, okay. And Rick notices Dr. Jenner sitting down, looking a little depressed. And he's only depressed because he lost his wife due to the virus. But they don't know that. So Rick is like, it's like grabbing a glass. It's like, it seems to me we haven't thanked our host properly. And T-Dog's like, no, he is more than just our host. And John's like, here. Everyone's like, here. And Rick and John say thank you very much. Dr. Jenner says you're welcome. And Shane's like, when are you gonna tell us what the hell happened here, Doc? To the other doctors. We're supposed to be figuring out what happened, right? Where are they? Rick says, we're celebrating, Shane. No need to do this now. And Shane's like, whoa, wait a second. That's why we're here, right? This is your move. We were here to find out the answers, but instead, we found him. One man. Why? Dr. Jenner says, well, when things got worse, a lot of people left. Went off to be with their families. And when things got worse, when the military came around, the rest bolted. Shane says, every last one, right? Dr. Jenner says, no. Many couldn't face walking out the door. They opted out. There's a rash of suicides. That was a bad time. Andrea says, you didn't leave. Why? Dr. Jenner says, I just kept working, hoping to do some good. Glenn tells Shane, you are such a buzzkill, man. Shane's like, I'm just asking. In his mind, he's like, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking a simple question. And the next shot is Dr. Jenner showing Rick and the crew the rooms, and he says everything, some of the doors are locked down, which is why you guys gotta make do here. There's plenty of rooms. The couches are comfortable, but there are nice warm beds and some storages opened up if you guys like. There's also a game room / restroom down the hall that you kids might enjoy. Just don't plug in the video games, okay? Or anything that draws power. Of course, he's talking to Carl, Ben, Billy, and Sophia. And he also tells Rick and the crew that if you guys need to shower, just be careful with hot water. And T-Dog's like, hot water? And John and Glenn are like, that's what the man said. And they all smile at each other, and they all go run to the shower. It's like a big bathroom with multiple showers, like in the TV series. Glenn takes off his clothes, goes into his shower capsule. Glenn also, Glenn goes to a shower capsule, takes a shower, and then the shot pans out to John where he's taking the shower, and then the next shot pans to Lori when she's taking a shower, and then the next shot to that is Carl taking a shower all by himself, and then the next shot is Rick entering the shower with Lori. He's saying, Rick tells Lori, I'm glad that I found you. I'm glad that I'm with you guys again. He kisses Lori in the shower, and Shane, the next shot pans out to Shane. He is in the shower, drinking some alcohol, because that's obviously his favorite beer, alcohol. And that's like, of course, one of his favorite drinks to drink. And then the next shot is Vesta and Dale walking down the hallway, and they're talking about what they were before, etc., and other things. And as they're about to go to their rooms, they hear Andrea, and Dale's like, Andrea, you okay? Dale opens the door to Andrea's room. Avesta is there as well, and Dale notices Andrea throwing up in the toilet, and Avesta's like, are you okay? And then Dale's like, it's okay, let it out. Andrea's like, and Andrew's like, flushing down the toilet, and she's like, everything's gone. This is like, what? You didn't hear a word, Dale. No, it's over. There's nothing left. Avesta says that's not true, and Dale says, oh, I see a chance of making a fresh start. And Andrew's like, Dale, Avesta, didn't you see the look on Jenner's face? Hear what I'm saying? There's nothing left. Nothing. Avesta's like, that's not true. That's not true. There has to be something out here. We just gotta try. Doesn't mean we all have to give up like animals and give up who we are, so those things out there can win. I don't believe that. I don't think you should believe that too. If there's any hope of staying here or finding a place out there somewhere that's worth living, worth better, then we gotta do it. We gotta take it, because in this world, it's dangerous. This new world is dangerous and crazy, and there's a way we can make it better again. We have to try. And Andrew's like, Dale, Avesta, we gotta ask Jenner some more questions. And then the next shot is Rick walking down the hallway, entering the lab where Jenner introduced the group in the very beginning of the episode. Rick tells Dr. Jenner, I came to thank you. And Dr. Jenner says, you did. Rick almost passes out because he's drunk, obviously, and he slips on the floor, landing on his belt buckle, and Jenner asks, are you okay? And Rick tells Jenner, you know what it's like. You know what it's like out there. You may think you do, but you don't. If it weren't for you, we would have died out there. My boy. My wife. I never told him what I really thought. Never even hinted, I just kept it in. Instead of telling him, I just kept it in. Kept it moving, you know? Kept it in, kept it moving. Dr. Jenner tells Rick, it's okay. It will all be okay. Rick says, thank you, and then the next shot is Lori entering the game room. But in the game room, there's also like some drinks, so a small bar, a bathroom, and a door that leads to the main hallway, and then there's another door that leads is the exit, obviously, and there's also the small area with the books and the games. And Lori comes in and smiles and says, any good books? And Carol says, yeah, enough to last us for years. And then Carol tells Carl and Sophia, come on, it's bedtime. And then Lori tells Carl to wait for her in the room. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. Carl says okay, and Sophia's like, oh, that sucks. I wanted to play more. And Carl says, don't worry, Sophia, we'll play more tomorrow. Carol also tells Sophia, this is actually the first night we might get some real sleep. It's a miracle, isn't it? Sophia says, yeah. The three exit the room, and then Shane is seen watching Lori because he wants to tell her something, and so he slams the door just to get her attention, obviously. And Lori says, oh, you scared me. Shane says, I'm going to tell you a few things, and please listen to me. Lori says, now's not the time. Shane says, come on now, when's it ever time? How can you treat me like this? Lori says, you're kidding, right? Because you told me my husband was dead. Shane's like, I didn't lie to you, alright? I didn't. You know what it was like there, huh? Stop, listen. Things were falling apart. They were slaughtering people in the hallways. It was a massacre. Now, there was walkers everywhere. And Laura says, so you left them? And Shane says, no. There were no doctors or nurses, okay? It was just me who was hooked up to machines and IPs and wires. It was just me. I did not know what to do. I grabbed my ear and I put it on his chest for a heartbeat, and I did not hear one. I don't know why. Maybe it was the helicopter explosion, the bombs, the shootings, or gunfire, but there's no way he couldn't survive that. No way! And Laura says, he did. Shane says, yeah, but I had you two to think about, did I? I had you and Carl, and I had to stick it on and Shane's like, no, I had to stick to Atlanta. That's what I had to do. Just stop and hear me out for 1 second. If Rick was waiting in the Atlanta camp, would you have come? No. I saved your life. You and your little boys as we got there. Listen, if I could trade places with him, I would have. Hell, I would trade places with him right now because Laura's like, Shane's like, no, I love you. I love you. And Laura's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And Shane's like, I know you do. I know you love me too. Just stop. Listen, please. Laura's like, get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Shane's like, I love you. Trying to touch her important part and her face, and like, I love you. And Laura's like, Shane, enough! Scratches his face. Shane notices what just happened, and he gets a little upset, so he leaves the room. Lori cries as she's confused and a little disappointed in herself because, again, she just didn't know that Rick was still alive. And she's just feeling guilty and just so confused as to this whole situation. She does not know what to do. The next shot is Shane going in his room, and as he starts crying, obviously, because knowing that that part of him still loves Lori, and knowing that this whole thing is not easy, and he's just a little upset, and he goes back to sleep. And then the next shot is back to the flashback scene where Shane is confronted by Reggie. Reggie grabs his pistol and aims it at Shane. Reggie's like, you know, for a future sheriff's deputy, I expected you to pick up quite a fight, but I guess not. Shane asks Reggie, what are you doing, Reggie? Why are you doing this? Reggie says, I'm just sick and tired of you and Rick always being the famous sheriff's deputies, the only cops in Atlanta, Georgia. Getting all the love, respect, attention. I never got that when I was a kid. Everything I ever got in my life, I got on my own two hands. And now all these people are turning into zombies, running around like minions. Grow up, Walsh. Hell. You know something, Shane? Those 4 criminals you were in pursuit with, I sent them. I sent them to go after Rick and you. After your friends. My friends. So that I could become sheriff's deputy. Shane's like, why? Why would you do something like this? Why? How can you do this to us? I thought we were friends, co-workers. Reggie says we were never friends. Hell, I'm a criminal. I only became a cop because nobody suspects it's a man under a badge. No one suspects a nice person. As soon as I kill you, I'll go to Rick's room and put a bullet in his brain. And then when I find Sergeant Miller and Rick and Lori and Carl, hell, their corpse in their hands will be mine. I'll rip them apart from their body. Because you're not man enough to protect them. Nor was Rick. Just like you aren't either. A true criminal has to be undercover, even if I have to pose as a police officer. Gain your trust, and then wait for the right moment, hire the right people to take you out. And besides, since those lunatic criminals failed, I guess I'm gonna have to shoot you in the head myself. It was nice knowing you, Walsh. I hope you die this time. Shane runs at Reggie. He tries to pull the trigger from his gun, but before he can do so, Shane grabs the gun and then he throws the gun on the floor, and then him and Reggie are on the floor fighting. They're getting into a scuffle. Shane punches Reggie in the face twice, and then Reggie kicks him in the important part, and then kicks him in the knee. He reaches for his gun, but then Shane grabs his shirt and punches him in the nose, and then punches him in the mouth. He grabs his gun as Reggie gets up, trying to aim his gun at Shane's head. Shane grabs the gun at Reggie's chest, and he pulls the trigger. Like, pow! But mad blood comes out of Reggie's mouth. And Shane tells Reggie, "You're not going to hurt anyone else ever again. Don't expect any forgiveness from me this time." Reggie tells Shane, "F you, you stupid fucker." Ah. Reggie is dead. Shane runs off to the front of the building. He screams for help. He screams for help, but nobody's there. Meanwhile, he gets a call from John. He picks up the phone, and John says, "Shane, where are you? Shane, I got Lori and Carl. Where are you?" Shane's like, "Don't worry, John, I'm on my way. Just give me your location." John. The phone hangs up because obviously he notices that the phone is completely shut off. He tries to turn it back on, but the phone does not turn on, unfortunately. Like at this moment, all the technology, all the cell phones, not all the radios, but just the cell phones, computers, tablets, every part of technology is shutting off, and all the lights are just completely shut off, leaving Shane in darkness. He grabs his flashlight from the back of his pants pocket and turns it on, and notices a big horde of walkers heading into his direction. As he's about to get into his police vehicle, he notices Reggie as a walker. And Shane questions, how is that possible? Like, how is he a walker if you're bit, you turn? So if that's the case, then how can he be a walker if he's dead? I shot him. He grabs his pistol and aims at Reggie's head, and he pulls the trigger. Reggie is dead, meaning that Shane put him down because Reggie unfortunately turned into a walker. Gets to his police vehicle and drives away. And boom, that is like the end of the flashback sequence, obviously. The next shot is morning, obviously, and Rick wakes up and he notices that Lori, Carl, John, T-Dog, and everyone else of the group is up as well. John says good morning to Rick, and Rick says good morning to John as well, and he notices that his family's having a nice cooked breakfast, and it's the first time that they're actually slept good. And not worrying about walkers, I mean. Carl jokes and says, "Are you coming over for a pizza party, I mean?" Mom's making it. And Rick and John laugh, and Rick says, "Mom is right." And they both laugh and giggle, all of them. Shane comes out of his room, and he says good morning to everybody. He says good morning to Rick, and Rick says morning. And he grabs a cup and grabs a cup because he needs a cup of coffee. He's thirsty, obviously. And T-Dog's like, "What happened to you? Your neck?" Shane's like, "I probably must have done that in my sleep." Rick says, "I've never seen you do that before." And Shane's like, "Neither have I." He looks at Lori with an angry look on his face, and Lori's like, "Whatever." Dr. Jenner enters the room, and everyone's like, "Hey, Doc, hey, Doc." And Vesta, Dale, and Andrea look at each other. It's like, now it's time to ask them some questions. Dale's like, Doc, I don't mean to ask you for questions first thing." Dr. Jenner says, "But you will anyway." Vesta tells Dr. Jenner, we didn't come here for the eggs." Dr. Jenner puts down his plate, looks at the crew, and he says, "All of you, follow me." The next shot is Dr. Jenner taking Rick and the crew to the workstation from the beginning of the episode, of course. And he tells Vi to turn on the lights and power on the work screens and the workstations. Vi says, "Powering work screens, lights, and workstations." Dr. Jenner is showing the group the TS-19 footage that him and his co-worker recorded. Dr. Jenner also tells the group that only a few people only got a small chance to see this. Only a little few. As he turns on the footage, Shane asks, "Where are those lights?" Dr. Jenner says, "It's a person's life. Experiences, memories. It's everything. Somewhere in all those wiring, all those ripples of light, is you. The thing that makes you unique and human." Daryl asks Dr. Jenner, "Does it ever make sense, ever?" Dr. Jenner says, "Those are synapses. Connections to the brain that carry through all the messages. They determine what a person says, does, or thinks from the moment of birth to the moment of death." And Rick says, "That's what this is, a visual?" And Dr. Jenner says, "Yes, or rather a playback of the visual." Vi, take us in for your IV. Enhance internal view. John's like, the hell? Like he's in shock as to what he's seeing. And that dark part, what is it? And it's the brain. Once you get bit, the infection goes to the brain, and then the neural shutdowns. Then death. Then death. Everything you ever were, or ever will be, gone. Lori says she lost somebody 2 days ago. Her sister. Dr. Jenner says, "I lost somebody too. I know how devastating it is." Vi scans to the second event. Scanning to second event. John's like, "That darkness, is that the infection?" Dr. Jenner says, "Yeah." And Rick says, "Most of that brain is not alive." Dr. Jenner says, "You tell me." Rick says, "It's not like before, because most of that brain is dark." Dr. Jenner says, yeah, dark. Clueless. Gone. Vi, power down main screen and the workstations. Powering main screen and workstations. Andrea asks Jenner, you have no idea what it is, do you? Dr. Jenner says it could be quite microbial, parasitic, global. Jacqui says, or wrath of God. Dr. Jenner says, and there's that. Andrea says there has to be something. Somebody. Somewhere. Jacqui said, asks Jenner, there are others, right? Other facilities? Dr. Jenner says, there could be some others like me. Rick says, you don't know? How can you not know? Dr. Jenner says, everything went down. Controls, technology, all of it. I've been in the dark for almost a month. Andrea says, so it's not just here. There's nothing left anywhere. Nothing. That's what you're really trying to say, right? Jesus. Damn, I'm gonna get straight-faced drunk again. That's what Daryl says. Daryl's like, Dr. Jenner, I know this has been taxing for you and I hate to ask one more question, but that clock is counting down. What happens at 0? Dr. Jenner says, the emergency generator runs out of fuel. Rick says, and then? Jenner walks off and up to his office, and Rick asks Vi this. Vi, what happens when the power runs out? When the power runs out, decontamination will occur. The next shot is where John, Rick, Shane, Glenn, and T-Dog run down to the basement to see the facility. And Glenn's like, decontamination? What the hell does that mean? And Rick's like, I don't like the way Jenner walked off. The way he just wandered off like that. And T-Dog's like, what's wrong with him? Seriously, was he under medicine, Medicaid, or what? John looks at the map and says, come on, we're almost there. The 4th door to the right is the door to the basement. They hit to the basement. Rick says, John, Glenn, T-Dog, go check on that direction for the fuel in the generators. Me and Shane will check the meter to see how much longer the generators have. John, Glenn, and T-Dog are going to go into that direction, and T-Dog notices some empty fuel cans. Rick and Shane look at the meter of the engine powering the CTC building, and they notice that the clock on the machine is ticking down to the clock that is on Jenner's workstation. Rick asks John, T-Dog, and Glenn, did you guys find something? And T-Dog's like, yeah, a lot of dead generators and a bunch of empty fuel cans from what I can count. John's like, oh god, I don't like this. Oh heck no. The next shot is Dr. Jenner in his office, and he's looking at a picture of his wife, and he starts to tear up a little bit, and he says, I did the best I could in the time that I had. I hope that you be proud of that. He puts a picture back on his desk. He grabs his ID card, and he looks into the distance, and he says, we all think there's going to be more time. The lights shut off, and Dr. Jenner says, until it runs out. Dr. Jenner's walking down the hallways, and he also walks down the rooms, and Vesta's like, what's going on? And Corey's like, why are the lights off? And the air conditioners in our rooms? And Dr. Jenner says, Zone 5 is shutting itself down. Dale's like, what? And he said the basement generators are still running off, you remember? And Daryl's like, shutting down? The hell do you mean? Dr. Jenner says, it's not up to me. Daryl's like, what do you mean? Hey man, I'm talking to you. What do you mean by shutting itself down? How can a building do anything? Dr. Jenner tells Daryl, you would be surprised. Rick, Glenn, John, Shane, and T-Dog come back from the CDC basement, and where it's like, Rick, and where it's like, it's okay, I'm here. Stay there. Rick asks Jenner, Jenner, what is happening? And Jenner tells Rick and the crew that Zone 5 is shutting itself down, and that it's designed to count down to the last possible second, right on schedule. He gives Daryl his beer bottle, and Daryl takes it, of course. And Dr. Jenner tells Rick and the crew it was the French. And Andrew's like, what? The French. They're the last to hold out, as far as I know. As soon as people were bolting out the doors and committing suicide in the hallways, they stayed in the room until the end. Why? Because they thought they were close to a solution. But I guess not. The world runs on fossil fuel. I mean, how stupid is that? Shane's like, let me tell you something. And Rick's like, back off, Shane, I don't even care. Hurry, grab your stuff. All of you, grab your stuff and your gear, your supplies. We're getting out of here now! And Jacqui's like, alright. And then, meanwhile, Dr. Jenner grabs his ID card, basically, and closes the door. Glenn and John are in shock by this, and Glenn's like, did he just lock us in? He just locked us in! And then Dr. Jenner sits on his computer and says, it's a 30-minute window. I'm recording. Carl screams, Mom! And Daryl's like, you son of a bitch! And Rick and John are like, Daryl, you locked us in here? Daryl, no! No, back up! That's what John says. John's like, Jenner, open that door now. Jenner says, no. Rick says, open the damn door! And Dr. Jenner says, there's no point. All the doors are locked tight and the emergency exits are sealed. Daryl says, well, open the damn thing. Dr. Jenner says, that's something I'll control the computers to. Like I told you, once those front doors close, they wouldn't open again. You heard me say that. It's better this way. What is? What happens in 38 minutes? Shane? What happens in 38 minutes? And Dr. Jenner gets up and screams, do you know what this place is? We protected the public from very nasty stuff. Weaponized smallpox, Ebola strains that can wipe out half the country. Stuff y'all are getting out ever. John, Glenn, and Dale in a vessel look at Dr. Jenner like, have you gone nuts? Dr. Jenner sits back down in his chair and he says, in the fall of a power structure and a terrorist societies were deployed so that no unknown organisms can get out. Rick says SITs. Vibe fun. SITs, they are a two-stage, well-equipped bomb that is created to make sure no unknown organisms can get out, and is also deployed as a warning. If you don't get out, everything in you and all Ebola strains, regardless of everything that's in there, will be exploded, and you will die within quick death of 33 seconds within the nice known art and structure of us humans are equipped to deal with, regardless if it's life, death, or desire, Dr. Jenner says, set the air on fire. No pain, no suffering, death, everything. The next shot is Daryl grabbing his hatchet, and he is slamming on the metal door, and he drops it and screams at Dr. Jenner saying, "Open that damn door!" And then he picks up the hatchet and then boom. Sophia, Billy, Carl, and Ben are crying because they're scared, obviously. Dr. Jenner says, I should have let you on the room because it was so much easier. Dinah says, easier for who? Dr. Jenner says, all of you. You know what's out there. A true brutal life. An agonizing death. Your sister. What was her name? And just says Amy. Amy. You know what this does. You've seen it. Is that what you really want for your wife and son? Rick says, I don't want this. Those doors were designed to withstand a rocket launcher. Daryl grabs his hatchet and says, we're heading out! And John, Dale, Rick, T-Dog, and Lake, and Shane are like, Daryl! Back up! Daryl! Back up! Dr. Jenner says, you do want this. Last night you said it was only a matter of time before everyone you loved was dead. John's like, what? Then Shane says, did you really say that? After all you've been to? Rick says, I had to keep hope alive, didn't I? Dr. Jenner says, there is no hope. There never was. Rick says, there's always hope. Maybe not you, maybe not here, but somebody, somewhere. Angela says, what part of this is everything gone that you don't understand? Dr. Jenner says, listen to your friend. She gets it. Is this what takes us down? This is our extinction event. Glenna looks at him like, are you gone nuts? Carol cries and says, this isn't right. You can't just keep us here. Dr. Jenner says, one tiny moment, a millisecond, no pain. Carol says, my daughter doesn't deserve to die like this. She's like, Dr. Jenner says, wouldn't it be kind of compassionate to just hold your loved ones and wait for the clock to run down? Shane grabs his shotgun and he's like, everyone's like, Shane! And Shane says, get out of my way, Rick! Get out of my way! You open that door, or I'll blow your head off. You hear me? Shane, listen to him. It's not the way we do things. If you kill him, we'll never get out of here. Where's that Shane? You listen to him. John's like, brother, put the gun down. Okay? Just put the gun down. And then out of nowhere, Shane is hallucinating and he sees Reggie. And he is completely shocked by this, and Reggie is tormenting him and saying, see, Shaney boy, I told you. Oh, you can't get out of this situation. You can't protect them. Then Rick says, if he dies, we all die. And then Reggie says, we all die. Shit! And then he fires a shotgun at the computers, and then he fires at the ceiling, and Glory John are like, Shane! And Rick's like, takes the gun out of his hand, hits it across his face as Shane falls to the ground. And then Rick's like, are you done now? Are you done? And then Shane's like, yeah, I guess we all are. Rick gives a shotgun to T-Dog, just in case. And Rick says, I think you're lying. Dr. Jenner says, what? You're lying about no hope. That would truly inspire you to stay instead of taking the easy way out. You didn't. You chose the hard path. Why? Dr. Jenner says, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It always matters. You stayed when others ran. Why? Dr. Jenner says, not because I wanted to. I made a promise to her. My wife. John says TS-19. And Lori then says TS-19 was your wife. Dr. Jenner says yes. She begged me to keep going for as long as I could. How can I say no? She was dying. She put me on that table. It wouldn't matter to anybody. She was a hope to the world. Hell, she ran this place. I just worked here. In our field, she was an Einstein. Me, I'm just Dr. Edwin Jenner. How she could have done something about this? Not me. Your wife didn't have a choice. But you do. And that's all we want. A choice. A chance. Or he says, let us keep going for as long as we can. Dr. Chair says, top side's locked down. I can't open those. What I can open is this door. He opens the door. Daryl says, come on! Come on, let's go! And Carol says, stay with me, Sophia. And then Carl's like, we gotta go. And then Lori says, Carl, you stick right by me. Rick tells Dr. Jenner that he's grateful. And Dr. Jenner tells Rick, the day will come when you won't be. He grabs Rick's hand and whispers in his ear, saying, whatever this is, whatever this disease is, we all got it. We are all blood carriers, for we all carry it. He let go of Rick's hand and says goodbye. He's in shock of what he just heard. And Glenn and John are like, come on! And T.Dog's like, come on, Jacqui. Come on, let's go. And then Jacqui's like, no, I'm staying. I'm staying, sweetie. T-Dog's like, no, that's insane. And Jacqui says, no, it's completely sane. For the first time in a long time. I'm not just ending up like Jim and Amy. There's no time to argue. And no point. Not if you want to get out. Get out. Get out. She's like, T-Dog, come on. Come on. Andrea tells Dale and Vesta, I'm staying too. Dale's like, Andrea, no. Vesta's like, Andrea. That's what Vesta says. Dale says, just go, go. Vesta says, Dale, I'm not going anywhere. Everybody's running up the stairs, trying to get out. Meanwhile, this next scene pans out where Dale is like, this isn't what Amy would want for you. Andrea says she's dead and you need to leave. They get to Rick and the crew, get to the top floor. T-Dog grabs a chair and bangs on the window trying to break it. John grabs his shotgun trying to break it as well. Shane's like, T-Dog, get down, get down! And fires his shotgun trying to break the glass, obviously, but it doesn't work because it's maxi glass. Obviously, meaning it won't break. Shane's like, Jesus. And then Sophia's like, the glass won't break? Alan's like, we gotta get out of here. It has to be a way. Carol's like, Rick, I have something to my help. Shane jokes and says, Carol, I don't think nail polish is gonna do it. Carol tells Rick, remember that first night at camp? When you came to camp, when I washed your uniform, I found this in your pocket. It is a grenade. Rick's like, clever thinking. He grabs a grenade, he tells everyone to get back, and then he opens the latch of the grenade, and he's like, oh shit, and he runs as the grenade explodes, like, pow! Andrew says, time's almost up. And the Vesta's like, okay, you win. Andrew's like, what are you guys doing? Vesta says, The man said, okay. If you're staying, we're staying too. Don't pull this, guys. Dale says we're not pulling anything. If you stay, we stay too. He's right. He knows. We know what's waiting for us out there. And honestly, I don't want to face it alone. Vesta says, neither do I. Andrea tells Vesta and Dale to get out, that she doesn't want them there, and Dale says, well, too bad. You don't get to do that. To come into somebody's life, make them care, and then just check out. We're staying. The matter is settled. Vesta says, you're like a sister to me, Andrea. I'm not just gonna be a coward and leave you here to die. Rick and the crew get out. They get out of the CDC building. Rick grabs his python and shoots a walker in the head. Daryl grabs his hatchet and cuts a walker's head off. John grabs his shotgun in a badass fashion and kills 2 walkers. Shane kills one walker as Lori grabs her pocket knife and stabs one walker in the head. They all run to the RV and to John's vehicle, obviously. As John gets in Dale's RV, he throws the keys to T-Dog, saying, "Take my Camaro. Make sure Carol Sophia gets in the vehicle as well." T-Dog's like, "Where's Vesta?" And everyone's like, "Get in the vehicles. Come on, we gotta go." Everyone gets in the vehicles. Rick is about to start the RV, and then Lori says, "Wait. Vesta, Dale, and Andrea are coming." As Dr. Jenner and Jacqui looks on the monitors, Dr. Jenner says, "They got out." They both are happy and stunned as to what just happened. Andrea, Vesta, and Dale are running to Rick's RV. As the countdown is still counting down, Jacqui grabs Dr. Jenner's hand. Dr. Jenner's final words to Jacqui are, "Thank you for staying with me." Jacqui's final words to Dr. Jenner into the screen. She says, "Let's roll, baby." The next shot is when Rick beeps the horn of the RV. Dale tells Vesta and Andrea to get down. And Rick and John are like, "Get down, get down!" And then boom, everything the CC building blows up. Everything, like the building, the tanks in the area, they all blow up. And it's a really crazy scene. The whole CDC building is blown to smithereens. Like there's nothing left. Absolutely nothing left. And Rick and everyone are in shock. That's what they just saw. And Rick's like, "We gotta go. Here's not safe anymore." As they're driving away, the final shot pans out where the CDC building is in fire. And the flames is rising up to the sky with the song playing in the background. And boom, that is the end of the episode and the end of the season 1 finale of my Walking Dead Reboot series. I hope you all enjoyed. When this episode comes out, it will be on the 4th of July. It will be the 4th of July, obviously, as you guys are watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic 4th of July and a fantastic weekend. And I want you guys to go down below in the comments and comment your top 5 or top 10 favorite Walking Dead Season 1 characters of my Walking Dead Reboot series. Like, just give me your top 5, top 10, whoever. Like, I want to know who's your favorite. Is it John, Rick, Daryl, T-Dog, Merle, Tara, Vesta? Who's your favorite? Comment that down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more crazy episodes like this. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you guys won't miss when I upload a Walking Dead episode. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Oh, and before I go, Season 2, Episode 1 will unfortunately not be coming next Friday of next week, because unfortunately for me, I am busy. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The link will be in the description for any updates of when I will release Season 2, Episode 1 of my Walking Dead Reboot series. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a God bless weekend. Have a God bless rest of your day. enjoy your weekend. Wash your hands. Have a fantastic 4th of July, and I'll see you guys in the next episode / video. Peace out.